Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be making Ukrainian potato and onion pierogies. Now before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification button down below. It'll only take you a second, but it'll really help my channel grow. Now let's get cooking. First, peel and boil potatoes until they're fork tender. While the potatoes are boiling, finally chop your medium onions and saute on medium heat for a few minutes with a tablespoon of butter until the onion turns a very light golden brown. Don't worry about the amounts of the ingredients. I'll be listing the ingredients as well as the recipe directions in the description below the video. When the potatoes are done boiling, carefully drain and transfer into a bowl. Mash the potatoes and add the sauteed onions. Mix well to combine. Now set it aside to cool. Now let's start making the dough. In a large mixing bowl, add 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Pour 1½ cups of steaming hot water into a measuring cup. Add a heaping tablespoon of salt to the water and stir until the salt is completely dissolved. Pour approximately 1 cup of the water into the flour in a circular motion. Mix with a wooden spoon. If you see you have a lot of dry flour left in the bowl, add the other half of the hot water and continue to mix until the dough starts coming together. Now add a 1/4 cup of vegetable or canola oil to your dough. Now it's time to use your hands to mix the dough. The dough should be cool enough to handle by now. Use your fingers to mix in any loose flour. Mix the dough by hand until it forms a ball. Mix for a few minutes until the dough forms a ball and there's no loose flour left in the bowl. Set the dough aside for 15 minutes to rest. Take the rested dough and knead the dough with your hands for about 5 minutes. When you're done kneading, the dough should be firm, but if you press it with your finger, it should spring back. Add some more flour to your countertop or mat. Sprinkle some flour on the dough and begin rolling it out with a rolling pin. Roll the dough into a circle beginning from the middle outwards. Turn the dough by half every several rolls. Sprinkle some more flour on the top of the dough if the rolling pin begins to stick. Carefully flip the dough over and repeat the process until the dough is about 1/4 of an inch thick. Sprinkle some flour on the side of the countertop. Take a cookie cutter or a glass about 3 inches in diameter and dip the edge in the extra flour to begin cutting circles out of the dough. Start at the outside of the dough. Take your cookie cutter or glass and press down into the dough using a circular motion. Work in a circle, leaving a bit of space between the circles that you're cutting out until you get to the center. Carefully remove the excess dough around the cutout circles and form a ball and set aside. You can even freeze the extra dough for another time. Place a cutout circle of dough on the palm of your hand. Put a teaspoon of the potato onion filling in the middle of the circle. Try to be careful and not put too much filling in the circle. Carefully fold the circle in half using the palm of your hand. Now with your other hand, pinch the center of the dough circle closed. Now pinch both outer sides of the dough circle together tightly. Pinch the clothes tightly, working from one side to the other. For added peace of mind and so they don't explode while cooking, you can also take a fork and carefully press around the outside pinched surface only. Place your pierogi on a very well floured surface, on a countertop, mat, plate, wooden board, as long as it's very well floured. Otherwise, they'll stick to the surface. Continue this process until all pierogies have been formed. Fill a large pot of water about 2/3 of the way up, bring to a boil on high heat, and add a few really big pinches of salt. Finally, chop your salted pork or bacon. and place it in a dry frying pan set to medium-high heat. Stir it around a bit every so often to render the fat and to crisp up the salted pork or bacon. Now finely chop your red or white onion and add it to the same pan as the pork. Sauté the onion until they turn a beautiful caramelized golden brown color. Then remove the pan from the heat. At this point, the water should be rapidly boiling. Carefully, one by one, start lowering the pierogies into the water. Give them a gentle stir right away so they don't stick together. Do not overcrowd the pot. Once they start floating to the top, let them boil for 4 to 5 minutes. You may need to cook your pierogies in 2 batches depending on the size of your pot. You can definitely use the same water from the first batch. When they're done boiling, remove them with a slotted spoon to a large serving bowl immediately. Add 1 tablespoon of butter to your pierogies and about 1/3 of the sautéed pork, bacon, and onion mixture and stir gently to combine. Now once you're ready to serve, add the rest of the crispy pork or bacon and caramelized onions on top and serve warm. These pierogies are traditionally served with sour cream on top, but they're just as delicious as they are. I hope you enjoy, and thank you for watching.